Hi, I'm Jim Johnson from Technical Training Associates, and I'm here to talk to you today about the subject of getting into the heating and air conditioning business. We get a lot of questions from people on that line. They say, how do I get into the business? What do I need to know from a technical perspective? If I'm going to go into business for myself, what kind of certifications do I need? What about licensing? So what I want to do is I want to address those many questions from two perspectives. One will be the technical side, and the other one will be what I call the soft skills or business side. We'll start with the technical stuff. As far as being a technician in the heating and air conditioning industry, whether you're working on residential or light commercial or you're going into more commercial stuff, the technical side is very simple. First of all, you need a good understanding of the fundamentals. In other words, refrigeration, electrical, mechanical systems, airflow fundamentals. The idea is simple. You wouldn't try to build a house without a good foundation, and being able to be a good troubleshooter and service technician in the heating and air conditioning business, it's the same thing. You need a good foundation before you can move on to the more advanced concepts, which is the next part of the technical side. When you move on to those more advanced concepts, you understand more about, say for example, printed circuit board operation, solid state controls, a little bit more on psychrometrics, and more things on the mechanical side of the operation of things. And of course, once you get that nailed down, there's a third segment that you need to understand when it comes to the technical side. You need to have specific information from the manufacturer on the particular piece of equipment that you're looking at the moment. So the technical side, just to review, you need 1, fundamentals, 2, you need to apply those fundamentals so that you can learn more advanced concepts, and 3, you need to have the information from the manufacturer on specific troubleshooting and service procedures related to their particular equipment. Now let's move on to the soft skills side. On the soft skills side, a technician that's going out either into residences or offices and dealing directly with the customer, they just have to have good customer service skills, good communication skills. So often we hear about technicians in this business and people say, well, he's a great technician, but his people skills really suck. Well, it doesn't work that way. If you're going to be a success, a real success in the heating and air conditioning business, in addition to that technical stuff we just talked about, we want you to understand that you need to know about customer service, communication skills, and being able to talk with customers and explain to them in information and language that they can understand what it is that you're doing for them. Now, on the business side, getting a little bit more beyond just soft skills and dealing with customers, on the business side, I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. Some of them I'm very opinionated about. So I'm just going to go for the first one. Flat rate pricing. I know a lot of people don't like flat rate pricing and they would rather go with time and materials. I am absolutely convinced after many, many years in this business that a flat rate pricing system done properly for a particular service company and based on your cost of doing business so that you can figure out what your rates need to be so that you can cover all your costs and make an honest profit. That's what you need to be able to do. And flat rate pricing allows you to do that. So consider the idea of getting away from time and materials and go to flat rate pricing. Certification and licensing. People are often confused about this issue. There's a difference between certification and licensing. Let's talk about licensing first. In your particular state, you may well need to be licensed to be a contractor if you're going to be doing business over a certain dollar amount. I'll give you just one example here. Let's just say that a customer calls you up and you need to service their equipment and the bill's going to be more than, let's say, $600. If you do that repair and you're not a licensed technician, you're in violation of the law. However, there are people that operate unlicensed and do those kind of repairs. So licensing is an issue sometimes for certain things that you need to be able to do and sometimes for other certain things that you want to do. When it comes to certification, let's talk about the simple part about that. Certification is misunderstood too, because a lot of people think that licensing is the same thing as certification. It's not true. Licensing is done by the state or maybe the county or maybe the city that you're in. That's either a business license or a license that you get because you show some competency in your trade. Now, when it comes to certification, though, certification can be something, for example, that comes from the federal government. Like, for example, in the case of EPA refrigerant recovery certification, which, by the way, every technician who works with refrigeration systems, if they're not certified by the EPA, they will be in violation of the Clean Air Act. And that means that you can be fined or even sent to jail. When it comes to other kind of certifications, though, beyond the one that we're talking about from the federal perspective, there's certifications that are offered by trade associations and industry associations. These certifications have nothing to do with the government, have nothing to do with state or federal or city situations, only the fact that you've gotten certified by studying for example, and taking a certification exam that's sponsored by a trade association or maybe another nonprofit entity in the heating and air conditioning business. So to review, what I want you to understand is that if you're going to get into the heating and air conditioning business, understand the technical side. Be competent at that. Make sure you understand the fundamentals, the advanced concepts, and know how to find the information that you need from the manufacturer. On the licensing side, make sure you understand what licenses you need and what certifications you're going to want to get so that your customer knows that you're competent. And on the business side, flat rate pricing is the best way to go, not only for you and your business, but for any technicians that work within a company, and it's also the fairest kind of pricing for the customer and for the industry as a whole. And that's my wrap on the heating and air conditioning business. If you want more information, you can visit our website at www.techtrainassociates.com, or you can give me a call at 520-625-6847. Thanks for listening.